Hi everyone. I'm
Hello.
Vone Kevitz, knit and crochet designer for One of a Kind Makers Who Dare to Be Original. And this I today, I mean, I'm so excited, I'm so giddy, I can't even I can't even. The beautiful Miss Sherry is on here live, my first live guest for Saturday morning. I'm so
Hi,
excited.
Vaughn. I'm
Sherry,
so
welcome,
excited.
welcome, welcome. Is this your first live period?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, ever. I'm wow. You are very sweet for asking me. Thank you.
You know, I I can't tell you how many times I love being people's first.
Really?
I love being people's
For
first of
you.
everything. When I first started on my online career, I is it Mika or Mike? How, who's this beautiful? So we have somebody joining us. Thank you for saying
Yeah.
hi. Um, YouTube doesn't recognize your emoji, but we figure it's going to be a good emoji. We're just gonna so
We
when I
recognize.
first started when I first started, started selling my online knit and crochet on Etsy, and I knew I wanted to be like, I knew I need to make a first sale, so I knew I had to be like, the only way to do that is to give before you get, reap before you sow, right?
Sure.
So I love being people's first Etsy buyer. It used to like make me, and then they'd be like, oh, "Who is this person?" So I would only seek out new sellers and then be their first buyer, so I could
Oh,
leave them a great review. And it just always, ever since then, like doing lives with people new, always doing like people facing their fears new. What's up?
yeah.
Oh, Tina's here. The beautiful Tina's here. I'm so glad.
Hello.
Thank you so much, Tina, for sharing. Tina was the one that did the amazing video comparison about what the SJWs did last year when it was like the South Park comparison, how like we were all in our knitting utopia, and all of a sudden like the big bad evils came in and just devoured strawberry shortcake and unicorns and everything alike, and we're all like stunned. Everybody became stunned, and we're like, okay, uh, we're all already introverts. Let's just go hide in our shell from now on because the big bad evils are out, right? It was crazy. Good morning, Kathy. Oh, look at
Morning,
I didn't know
Kathy.
you were from Pittsburgh. Allie's here.
It's a
Awesome,
barbecue.
awesome. So we got a great crowd. So Sherry,
Yes.
did you all see, first of all, did you all see Sherry's beautiful 4-minute video? I have the link.
For a
If you're
minute.
watching the replay, I have the link in the show description, very first line. Go check out that video and then come back to this live if you do not know who this beautiful Miss Sherry is. Okay. That 4-minute video, what made you get on camera and go, I gotta film this?
That was really spur of the moment, which is probably why I was only 4 minutes. Because trust me, I could probably go much longer. No, I was watching. I just happened to be. Let me back up a little. I was doing, and I have it on my Instagram page, the pink top down sweater. So I'm doing that tutorial with Miss J, Miss J's Pearl Jam, Pearl Knit and Jam. Find her; she's great, great teacher,
Mhm.
very patient and everything. But I was doing that tutorial, and Blue Mouse, I think that's who she is. You know how videos
Yes.
just pop up in your feed, and I had not kept up with any of the drama when I saw all that mess going on last summer. I said, you know what? I don't have to be bothered with this. I can knit and crochet and be happy as I have done my previous 54 years by myself and not be bothered with any of this, the Ravelry stuff, all that mess. So I just cut it off. And when Blue Mouse's video came up, it was my first time hearing anything else about that since last summer. And she broke my heart because she was so sad. And
Mhm.
I was sad for her and mad all at the same time. And really sad about how she felt like she had to step away and how she felt like she couldn't have a voice.
Yep.
And so that's what motivated the video for the most part. That's how I felt anyway.
Mhm.
But she was kind of the last straw for me. as far as seeing her video and how sad she was and everything. And I'm like, it's enough already with this. These people, you can't let people punk you. These people can't tell you what to do or what to think. These are what I think some people forget is that when you are online, that's when these people are active. But when you turn off your desktop, your tablet, your phone, these people disappear with the black screen. When you see their little stuff and you zoom on past it, they disappear with that. If you answer someone back and they don't answer you, they have disappeared. Meaning, you don't have to be bothered with these folks. These are not people you have to engage. You have to know how to allow people to move on. And that's all of us. That's even them. They don't know that yet, but we know that. We can't get caught up in all that mess because all that mess is fake and phony, and they're eating each other now anyway. That's they turn on each other at the drop of a dime.
At the drop of a dime.
Absolutely. If someone says Negro instead of black by accident, everybody's up in arms and they mad and all this. It's a mess. And that's what we don't have to be involved in that. There can be a knitting community out here that has nothing to do with them. Let them have their stuff.
Right.
There's plenty of places to buy yarn. There's plenty of people to talk to out here that have nothing to do with SJWs. They are not the boss of anybody. They're not even the boss of themselves.
No, they're not. No, they are not.
I mean, really, they're not the boss of anybody. They can't tell you what to do. They can't tell you how to feel. And we learned all this in the kindergarten.
Kindergarten. Yes.
You're not the boss of me. You can't tell me what to do.
You can't tell me who to be friends with. You can't tell me who I can like.
You can't tell me what to say. We all said it in kindergarten, when you get a little trouble with your friends, and maybe then you be friends again. But you can't tell me what to do. You ain't the boss of me. And that's what I want to tell Blue Mouse. And don't get discouraged about what these folks are talking about. All that mess about India. I know where the young lady was coming from, but I hate that she felt like she had to apologize to them. That was just insane. I can describe anything I want any way I want. You don't have to like it. Now I've been very fortunate in my video. I've not had any negative. I have one downvote so far. Now that might change, and that's okay.
Right.
But I've had one little run-in with somebody who was after someone else, but they were talking about something I said. And I said, now you can be offended and I don't have to give a damn, and we can just keep on moving. And that's just it. That's just it.
That's really just it.
My grandma used to say, what she said, oh, she would be on my, but we would always say stuff like, you hurt my feelings or something like that. She said, well, you be all right, go sit over there. And that's right. You be all right, sit right there. You be okay. Work it out.
I always tell people, nobody can make you feel inferior without your permission.
That's right.
Without your permission.
Absolutely.
So if you feel it, you gave them that permission.
That's absolutely right. You're absolutely
right. You know what I mean? That's right. And that's the truth. That's like for instance, like if anybody was going to call me stupid, I said in one of my videos, if anybody was going to call me stupid, I can either accept it, believe it, you know what I mean? And then let it bother me and I will feel inferior. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm freaking smart.
That's right.
I'm a genius. So, and I don't believe you when you call me stupid.
That's right.
So therefore, you know what I mean? You have no power over me.
That's right. Again, kindergarten. Early. You call me a stupid head, I call you a stupid head. And we don't have,
I wanted to touch, I'm glad you brought that up about India, because this whole thing, that thin wall that they broke into our knitting utopia, that thin wall was that blog, right? Was that blog about her going to India and comparing it to visiting the moon because it was so foreign to her. Now, we've all read stories, right? We've all read story time. We all know what alliteration is. We all know what metaphors are. We all know what science fiction is. We all know what murder mysteries are, right? We all know what alliteration is.
That's right. That's
But
right.
they jumped on her like she was racist. Now, when I saw the backlash, because for me, it started off a year ago with I turned on my phone at 2 a.m. I know, Sherry, you're probably like, what the freak? I know, 2 a.m. Instagram, my phone. And I'm like, the knitting community is racist? Well, now I'm wide awake. My heart's pounding. I'm like, whoa, I'm in the knitting community. I'm in the knitting community. I have a Facebook group that has 900 plus people at the time. And we're not all knitters and crocheters, but we're creatives in there. The majority of them are knitters and crocheters because I love yarn, right? But there's more than that in there. And I'm thinking, I don't know anybody that is. And that group is so diverse. I don't know. They're so diverse. I think I got somebody from the moon inside my Dare to Be Original Facebook group. Like, I think somebody is living on the moon inside my like, that's how diverse my group is. So when I saw that, so I was like, okay, what is going on here? So I go and I follow these people. They've been a victim of this racism. They've been a victim of this racist community. And I was like, okay, so I go follow, right? I follow the person. There's a couple of people I had to follow. The first person I followed was somebody from India. Right. So clearly the backlash is, I didn't know at the time of what the post was about. I didn't know what happened. Right. I just saw knitting community is racist. I'm following, and they said, follow this Indian person. I followed her, or I didn't follow. I checked on her account. Right. I wanted to follow her. I wanted to support her. I wanted to give her love. If somebody is hurt, I wanted to, you know what I mean? Make them better. That's my nature. When you're hurt, I want to make you better. Right. I went to her account, and the first post that she had, the most recent post, right in the comment, right in the caption of her post, white people don't know how to apologize. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, okay.
So I put my phone down, Sherry. I put my phone down.
Okay. I was like, I'm not. Okay. I haven't. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Okay, so then I was like, what the freak? And then I put my phone down. And I'm like, okay. And then I go to the next one, and she was Chinese, and she had all kinds of like racial slurs left and right in her stories, And then I was like, okay, so racism wasn't even against the Black people at the time. My first two introductions was an Indian and a Chinese person. Right? Oh, and then so racism was Indian and a Chinese, and then I put my phone down, and then I had to like step away, and I was like, this is so like toxic. This is so this is toxic water I'm swimming in. I need to be careful where I'm going, because I protect my glass of water. I keep my glass of water clean and clear. I don't drink junk. I try very hard not to drink junk. I try very hard not to let the slop and the mess and the gook and the poison come in here, because some of this stuff isn't even FDA approved. Some of it is literally somebody's like junk that it will render you catatonic when you go sipping this glass of water. You're not careful when you don't put a lid on what you watch on the internet, right?
I totally
it will render you catatonic to the point where you don't move. You are so afraid to move, and when you're not moving, you're dead. Right. Yeah. So then I made my video. And I was like, you guys, there is no diversity issue in the knitting community. There is no diversity issue. It's a personal sport. Everybody can knit and crochet.
As I said in my video, I am okay. So let me tell you a little bit about me and where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest of 9. I'm the reason my parents got married. Almost 56 years ago. My parents are still married. My youngest brother is 32 years old. I have a ton of relatives. I come from a very large family. So in the first place, my tolerance for crazy is this much.
Yeah.
I'm surrounded. I have literally been surrounded by people since December 7th. A lot of people since December 7th, 1965, when my parents had my little brother.
Right.
My mom had 6 kids in 7 years. My dad was a truck driver. My mom had 6 kids in 7 years. I have been surrounded by a lot of people my whole life. So my tolerance for crazy is here. So I don't even deal when it comes to external crazy. I don't even deal with it. I
Right.
shoot away. My dad is the most normal person in my life. God love him. Everybody else is nuts. Everybody else is nuts. The only one that doesn't give me any grief. I love my daddy. I do. I got a great daddy. But I don't tolerate. So when I see, all that stuff going on online, and let me tell you this, I was up until 2017, I was an SJ. I would be considered an SJW. I voted for Barack Obama. I did all that stuff. Now I've never to the point where I hate white people and all this stuff. Never, because you know what? My husband's white. My second husband was white. I have a ton of white relatives that my brothers, girlfriends, and wives are white and everything. So, and my parents did not play that when we were growing up. We have all colors. My parents didn't do all the white people are this, white people are that, or anything like that. They didn't do that. And they didn't tolerate that from us. So I've never grown up with that. But for some reason, I was offended by, and I've come to since start doing some research on my own and start realizing that some of the things I believed to be true prior to 2017 was not true. And that is in regards to other people, and me not really paying attention. Just kind of, how you on the internet and you just kind of go along with folks, like, oh yeah, that's wrong, yeah, but you're not really asking questions.
Yeah.
And I started asking some questions. And when I started asking some questions, I'm like, you know what? That's how that makes more sense to me, because one more thing, I grew up, my parents were not hippies. I grew up in my immediate family, parents, grandparents, they were all what people would call conservative. My maternal grandmother voted for Richard Nixon and got a letter from Pat Nixon talking about her community service through the election of 1972 and stuff. So I come from, I grew up in church. I come from a family that was, for the most part, lived very conservative lives. They did not play, period. They didn't play with little children. Little children had their place. It was very traditional. I was very blessed as a kid, even though my parents had a lot of kids. We had Christmas, we had Easter, we went on vacation. We didn't have folks running in and out of our house. Like I said, my dad was a truck driver, and my mother was lucky enough to be home with us, and she was president of the PTA and everything. I think that's why she's a little crazy now, because she had to deal with all these kids, both hers and other people's. And so, growing up, I was very fortunate. And in saying that, I also didn't run into a lot of crazy until I got grown. So it kind of threw me, and you kind of, when you're young anyway, you try to figure out, where do I fit in? What do I really want to believe? Is what my parents said really what I want to go with, because they're parents and they're old, grandparents are old and everything. What do they know? They don't want me to have any fun anyway. That's a whole other story. But so I come from a traditional conservative background. And then, you get young, you go off on a tangent. And I just started coming back around again, like in the last 3 or 4 years and stuff, where I started saying, wait a minute, that's not right. Or, that doesn't sound right. When you start reading and thinking instead of just following headlines and, looking a little deeper and knowing what I know to be true, you always have to follow what you know to be true in your heart. You can't just go along with the crowd just because. And what makes me mad about that is I knew better, and I following folks I had no business following and believing folks I had no business believing and everything. But sometimes it takes you a minute, to shake all that mess out of your head, just shake it,
Yep, of course.
Get all together.
I can't tell you how, good morning, Lori. I can't tell you how often, like, I'm very careful. I'm even continuing to be careful in this water. It's just when I did that video, I stepped away because I said, protect your glass of water, guys, step away. And I just did it for my friends because I knew they were like, whoa, what is this? And I wanted to put a video out, and a lot of people saw it, but some of them didn't. And then 6 months later, Ravelry came, and I was like, with that whole policy, and that was wrong. That was very wrong. Not what they believe, not what their wording.
Yeah.
Their wording was very wrong. Like, they can be political. A company can be political. A company can have opinion. A company can include one and exclude whatever. That's your company. You know what I mean? That's your company.
Absolutely.
But to say that all Trump supporters were open white supremacists, like, that line is racist. That line is
absolutely is. It absolutely.
That line is wrong. You know what I mean? You could say no Trump support. I don't care what they want to do. You know what I mean? Like I say in my Dare to Be Original Facebook group, no boys allowed. I only want girls in my club. I can say that, it's my club. I get slack for it. I'm like, if you want a boys wedding club, go do it. You know what I mean? This is my comfort level, right? So and if you don't like it, go find another group to play with, right?
That's right.
It's so Ravelry could have done it that way, but they didn't. Instead, they said, which would be equivalent to me, all male are like whatever, fill in the blank.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. And that's not true. That would
right.
not be a true statement. That's what they did. That's what they did in their policy, and that's what made it not a true statement.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So, you can't pay them any attention because they're not really inclusive of anyone. What they're trying to accomplish is being exclusive. See, there's a difference between equality and being special. I'm all for equality. I'm not all for being special. I'm gonna treat you as equal, but I'm not gonna treat you special. You know what I mean? Like, exactly. I'm being special. I mean, that I'm gonna treat you special as opposed to treating everyone else different. Right. I'm black for a while. All people have to do to me, if they feel like it, is say hello. That's it. You don't have to say, hello, Sherry, I love black people. You don't have to say that. You can just say, Sherry, how you doing? I'm fine. And if you don't feel like saying it, that's all right too. It's okay. I'm okay. If people walk past me and don't say anything, I'm really okay. It's all right.
Sherry,
if you do 2 likes,
oh my goodness,
it's okay.
Sherry, if anybody ever came to me and said, hi, Vone, I love Asians, and I'd be like, what are you, crazy? I don't love Asians.
I don't. Everybody.
That is the craziest statement ever. What?
We all know people who are black, white, and Asian as we are, who are crazy as hell, and we don't want to deal with them. Absolutely. I have a whole family of them, but that's a whole other story. I have a whole family. So, you don't have to be bothered with folks. You can just say, well, God bless you, and keep it moving. Yes. There's enough that happens in life that you don't have to add on external mess to it. We are all, one thing I thank God for is that I had my people growing up, because I grew up with a lot of people with a lot of common sense. And, I have both my parents, and both of my parents are they're very genuinely nice people and very well-off people. I mean, I'm very thankful that I don't really they're not rich, but, I don't have to worry about them being destitute or anything else. They're able to do what they need to do. And I thank God for that. But one thing I'm grateful for is I had a lot of people who spoke a lot of common sense to me. And one thing, my grandmother was a huge influence in my life. And she used to tell me, and I live by this, and it has helped me so much. And if I could pass this on to folks, I hope it can help them. She told me, all of us, she said, everybody's not going to think you cute. Everybody's not going to be your friend. Everybody's not going to like you. And it's okay. And that has kept me out of so much mess. Those three things. Because if I meet somebody who I don't, now for real, the times I have met with actual racism, like actual people being racist to me, for real, I could count on one hand. And they are so few and far between. I have met so many people in my life. I have not only have where I live now, but I've lived in Philadelphia, San Diego, and Dayton, Ohio. And I've always come across people of all kinds. I've never had any issues. And I think I accredit that a lot to my upbringing, but also it's because I never tried to get caught up in, especially beyond being 20 in your 20s when everything seems to matter, whether someone likes me or not, whether someone's going to be my friend or not, whether somebody's going to think I'm cute or not. Because there's so much that goes on in the world. We used to tease my grandmother. She was a smart lady. Thank you, Michael. She was. She used to say, we used to tease her because she would say stuff like, if we would eat too much, she said, stop eating all that food. You're going to get acute indigestion and die. Or come here from the cold, you're going to get pneumonia and die. And there she would add and die at the end of everything. And she said, and die. You're going to get sugar and die. You eat all that food, you're going to get sugar and die. So, and we would tease her about that. But in saying that, she was preparing us for the inevitable in that everything, nobody's life is perfect. And even what seems the most perfect life, that person is not going to be here one day. Yeah. Cary Grant's not here no more. Frank Sinatra's not here no more. Sammy Davis Jr. is not here anymore. Am I showing my age? Prince is not here anymore. Michael Jackson's not here anymore. And they led what we think of as a beautiful life for the most part. They had plenty of money. They had plenty of stuff. They had clout. They had connections and all this stuff. And you know what? They ain't here no more. And just like all of us, one day we're not going to be in here anymore. We don't have enough time to be dealing with foolishness. And this mess going on in the knitting community with the SJWs, and you don't like me because I'm Black and all this other stuff, when you could go to Hobby Lobby or your local yarn shop or Joann's or anywhere, get you some yarn, get you some needles, and sit in your living room and knit all by yourself, as women and men have done for millennia.
Millennium.
Millennium. All this stuff, sewing. I have a Cricut machine. I have a silhouette machine. I have 2 sewing machines. I have knitting needles, yarn. My sewing room looks like a Joann Fabrics, for real. It's ridiculous how much stuff I have in there. And I can do all that by myself. Now, it is nice to have people to do this with you and teach you. I have appreciated, so I can't even tell you how many tutorials and everything that I have benefited from out on the internet, and just talking to people and listening to folks and everything. But at the end of the day, all this stuff I can do by myself. I don't need anyone else to do this with me. So the people that I choose to be involved with me are only going to be people that I care to be involved with. It's not going to be somebody who's calling me a racist or Uncle Tom or whatever the hell it is people call each other out here and all this other stuff. We got time for that. We don't have time for that. We ladies out here and gentlemen do not have time for that. We don't have to get caught up with all that mess. Let them people go on by. Most of them don't even knit and crochet anyway.
That's the funny thing I've found very interesting about this, the whole dynamic of this. And this is where do you guys love our title, by the way, knitting common sense? Knitting with common sense. We're trying to knit common sense back into our community right now. SJWs come at you so hard, and they want to talk about inequality and inclusion and racism and all that stuff. The only racist statement I've ever read are 2 statements online in this knitting community, which is on Instagram, One of them was white people don't know how to apologize. And then this past week with white people can pay and everybody else is free.
Yeah, that's
Those
what.
are the only two racist statements I've ever seen. I've never seen anybody say black. I've never seen anybody say black people can pay and everybody else gets free. I've never seen black people can't apologize. I've never seen Asians can't apologize. I've never seen any other.
I laugh because it's so ridiculous. It's just, it's so ridiculous. It's so, and let me say, just to my white ladies out there, I love my white ladies. See, listen, isn't that racist? I love my white ladies. But let me just tell, because I think sometimes in all this, it's like lions and gazelles. They're the lions. They see, and in particular, white women. Now, I'm not, and that's not exclusively, but in particular, white women. They see white women as weaker. Like white women won't fight back. See, I'm a black chick with attitude. Now that don't mean they won't come for me. It just means that they know that I got something else to say, and for the fight. They don't always view white women that way. And what I would say is white women and white men need to start fighting back and pushing back if they find themselves in that situation. Don't back down. Don't apologize. Say what you mean and mean what you say, period. It's the only way this is going to stop.
Yeah,
really.
It's
for real. It's the only way. Yeah. There is, there is. Yeah, Elle and I agree. Is that they say there is no racist against white. Yes, absolutely there is. I know
when you judge a human by the color of their skin, you are judging them by their race. Therefore, you are a racist. That's what that is. That's what that is.
You have to think racism from all sides is rooted in jealousy. It's the belief that somebody has something or access to something that you don't have. That's where it begins. It blossoms to other things, but that's where it begins on all sides. It's the belief that someone has access to something. I want what you have. That's spiritually, materially.
My highest post on Instagram of likes thus far is almost 200 likes, which is the highest I've ever had on Instagram. I mean, it like trumps all the other ones, all my other posts. And it was the one where I did about fragile privileges. And because I got sick and tired of seeing, this privilege. This word privilege gets me going. So I wrote that I abhor the term fill in the blank privilege because it's an excuse to blame the outside world for inner struggles. If you're reading this post on social media, you are privileged. It's 2020.
Absolutely.
We all have everything at our fingertips. We have unlimited resources to grow, improve, rise, strengthen, improve, empower our best versions as human beings. Blaming the outside world for their special privileges just makes you a powerless victim and your choice to make alone. Don't do it. There is nothing more fragile than to choose to be a powerless victim by blaming other people's privileges.
Girl, every Black person I know, and I know a lot of them, I know a bunch. All of them got homes. All of them got phones. Most of them got jobs. Half of them got college degrees. I have my very Black niece right now is going to DePaul University in Greencastle, which is a private school, private college in Indiana. She on a scholarship. It's just about free for her. She worked her butt off in high school and got this scholarship to go to DePaul. And she's darker than I am, and doing great things during graduate next year and everything. Everybody I know who's Black has something going on. I don't know not near one living in poverty that I know of. Now I'm not saying they don't exist, but I'm saying all Black people I know are free to make choices. They go anywhere they want to. They say anything they want to. If they're not turned out of Burger King, or some of them need to be turned out of Burger King, or turned out of Joann Fabrics, or turned out of the mall, or anything like that. They go anywhere. They got job. They do anything they want to, but somehow get online and say, well, not privileged they are, or how brought down they are, or how someone who doesn't like Black people is hurting their, I can't even, for real, I can't even describe it because I just think it's so ridiculous. And like I said, it was so ridiculous, so ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't know what else to say. It's ridiculous.
That's like me always constantly jumping on here. I'm like, you guys, this is a non-issue. This is literally a non-issue.
Don't get caught up in, you cannot get caught up in all this, because there are race hustlers out here doing their thing and doing their thing well, because they're sucking in a lot of people, and like I said, everybody I know has a place to live and everything else, are not suffering from it, got Jordans on their feet, got designer bags. Even if they bought them at the outlet, you've still gone to the outlet and spent $200, $300. Where'd that come from? You know what I mean?
I can't afford that.
But that's what I'm saying. Everybody I know is blessed to be. Nobody's starving. Even in this time that we're in, where everybody's having to stay in the house, nobody's starving. Folks are finding alternatives to do things. Everybody's helping each other as much as they can. And that's a privilege to be able to do so. And that's a privilege that we have in this country that other countries don't have. At the end of the day, if we have a lot going on in this country that people are, I hope, are starting to wake up and recognize. There's a lot of advantages we have in this country. With all the mess you hear on TV about shortages and this, that, and the other, there are still a lot of advantages we have in this country that other people don't have. I know, $200 for shoes. I know.
My entire wardrobe is privileged. My entire closet isn't even $200.
My sister in the school. At one time, we'll have to have my sister on, because my sister teaches school. And it takes her to tell you about the ignorance she sees and how she has to. Because as outspoken as you may believe that I am, she really is. And it takes her to talk about, because she is a teacher, but she's not a teacher that kowtows to parents. Parents will come in and they'll say, well, my kid got an F on this paper because, why did my kid get an F on this paper? And my sister will tell them, your kid got an F on this paper because y'all doing something at your house other than helping him study. And she'll tell them, okay. And they don't like her, and it's okay, because she was raised with the same grandmother I was, and it's okay, but she's telling the truth. And it's like, you can stick by what you say, tell the truth, say what you mean, and mean what you say. Period. Don't back down. Don't say, oh, well, I'm sorry. If you're sorry, if you think you're going to be sorry for saying it, don't say it. That's it. And that's as simple as that. Don't say something you believe you might be sorry for. Now, that's not to say that you don't make mistakes. I'm saying, if you say something, mean it. Don't let the herd come in talking about, well, you shouldn't say that, and you can't say that because you white, and you can't say that because you Black, and you don't know what that experience is, and blah, blah, blah. That's all to intimidate people. That's what this is. It's all to intimidate folks. That's why I'm saying, white women, white men, stop letting these folks intimidate you. Push back, because they come for you because they believe, because of who they believe that you are. And I know that all of you are not. I know that just like everybody else in the world, folks have things that they deal with, that they have to be strong and then have to do for their family. You can do that online. You can cut them off like I do. You can cuss them out like I have sometimes, but you have to push back. You have to push back. You can't let them do this to you. You can't. It's on you to stop.
I'm a complete individualist, and I'm a humanist. I don't look at, I see the world, whenever anybody gets, I hate the explicitives. I hate explicitives. I hate descriptions. I hate them with a passion. I learned the concept from Girls Stop Apologizing by Rachel Hollis. Where, when she was talking about the part where, the word boss babe, like female bosses. Like she's like, "Do you know what an explicitive is?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And I was one of those people that was like, "Oh, I'm a boss, babe. I'm a female entrepreneur." You know what I mean? And then I started realizing after reading that, I'm like, when you use an explicitive, you're using a description that limits you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Would I rather want to be a great female leader, or would I want to just be a great leader?
That's
Would
right.
I want to be a great Asian
Right.
leader, or would I just want to be a great leader? Would I
That's
want to be a great female Asian leader,
right.
or just a leader? So the
Yeah.
more explicitives you add on top, which is what the SJWs love. They love the
Yeah.
special and they love to like isolate and you know what I mean and
Right.
nitpick and pinpoint, right? So every explicitive you add on top, it doesn't make you that much more special. All it
Yeah.
does is limit you to the bigger one where I would rather just be a great human.
That's right. Right. That's why I say I believe in equal. I do not believe in special. You can be,
Mm-hmm.
we want people to be nice to us, period. I want people to be nice to me. But then, I don't, if someone tells me, oh, I don't like black people, well, okay, that's fine. You might have your reasons, but I don't have to be bothered with you if that's how
Yeah.
you feel. That's my choice. I'm not going to sit
Mm-hmm.
and argue with somebody and say, oh, well, you don't like black people and this, that, and the other. Oh, well, okay, that's all right. Thank you for telling me, and I'll keep it moving. That's what you don't stop getting caught up in all these labels and all this mess going on. You're right about boss babe and Asian female, first Asian female, such and such and such a thing. That right, the identity politic Olympics. That's right. And you keep adding all these, and the first gay, black, such and such and such and such. And he's a lousy, whatever it is they're trying to say. But he's black and he's gay, so that gives him a pass. That's just dumb. I'm not like the thing in the black community that says, support black business. Okay, all for that. But I'm not going to give you my money and you have a lousy business. Just like I would walk into a lousy business owned by, I know it's a lousy business. I'm not going to walk into a lousy business owned by a white person. I'm not going to walk into a lousy business owned by a black person. I'm not just giving money just because are you crazy?
There's some common sense right there. Common sense.
Yeah, common sense. No, I said, no, whatever you support, you should support good business, period. And that's everybody. It doesn't matter because good business makes good communities, at the end of the day. So we should all be supporting all good businesses. As much as we can, period.
Yep.
It shouldn't matter. I see that a lot in the knitting community talking about people of color, yarn shops, or don't have yarn shops. But I'm like, well, hell, if you want to start a yarn shop, get a business plan together, go to the bank and ask the bank for some money, or go ask your mama, or whatever you got to do.
Yeah, do whatever you need to do.
I see black people, or not even just black people. I see folks selling stuff out of trunks and stuff, and the back of trucks. I'm not saying it's legal. I'm saying people who are motivated to do something find a way to do it anyway. That's something you want to do. Don't let being black hold you back. Ain't got nothing to do with that. No way. You find $200 to go spend at the outlet mall. Dedicate that money to opening you a business. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm on a tangent. I'm sorry.
No, this is when I stepped away. So after Ravelry, I saw the video on Blue Mouse, and that's actually what made me come back into this world again.
Yeah.
That Blue Mouse video, it broke me because she said something. There was one line in her video that just broke me to my heart, to the point where I'm like, okay, this is where God wants me to be right now. This is clearly where God needs me to be right now. When she said that even though I have a thriving business, I'm going to go get a day job.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
I'm going to take a step back. Even though I worked so hard in my beautiful young life, she didn't say, I'm paraphrasing because I'm watching this. I'm breaking with it. I'm like, when she said that line about I'm gonna take a step back from my thriving business that I worked so hard for with my own two hands and my beautiful mind and heart to say, I'm going to go work for somebody else and get a job.
Yeah,
And I'm like, that's when I was like, oh no, oh no. This is the how far the cancer has gone.
Yeah,
this is how far the cancer has gone.
Yeah, it was. I was so, like I said, she just popped up in my feed. I saw her, and maybe without her video, I may not have done anything. Which is another reason why, you know, there is a God, because sometimes you are put in places where you have no idea how you got there. Yeah. And this is one of them places.
Yes, right?
But yeah, when I was watching her video, it just made, I don't know this girl from Adam, but it just made me so sad that she felt this way. And I knew it was not behind anything that she did herself, but something that she felt like she had to do because she couldn't take it anymore. Yeah. And my thing was, you don't have to feel that way. I know I can't control anybody's feelings. I don't know what's on anybody's heart. I can only control what I can control. But it felt I felt so bad that she felt like she had no more control over whatever was going on, and this was something she had to do. And that's why folks you have got to start pushing back, and you've got to start remembering these people are not the boss of you, you know. And folks can feel any way they want to. And at the end of the day, it's your mental health that matters. If you have to step away, absolutely do that. But please remember that you are in control of what you are doing and who you are. These people can't tell you how to feel. They can say anything they want to, and they do. That's what they got Twitter for. They can do anything they want to do out there, you know. But make some boundaries. You know, you will not come into this community disrupting. Nobody. We don't care about all that stuff. Don't come in here talking about politics with us or anything else. And I hate that Vogue and Knitting Universe and stuff and all them got kind of caught up in all this too, because it kind of fed that mess, you know, it validated it, you know. Vogue and Knitting Universe are having all these diversity things. I'm like, girl, I'm here to buy yarn. I want to buy yarn. I've saved up $600. Do you know how hard it is for me to save $600? All I want to do is buy yarn. Do you know how much I hate going to work in the morning to save up $600? I don't want to hear you don't like people of color. I don't care about people of color. Where's the yarn? Where's the yarn? Where's the needles? That's all I care about. Don't take the inferiority complex somewhere else. It doesn't belong in the knitting community. This is knitting. This ain't politics. You knit a sweater feeling it inferior to who?
Yeah. Who to who? To yourself. Inferior to yourself. To yourself.
Don't do that. Don't feel inferior to yourself, because you don't have to feel. These folks are, I think, you know, we're all out on the internet, and it feels like a huge community, and it feels like you're related to and in touch with all these people. When in all actuality, it really is just you when you step back. It's just you. So you are still in control of what you are doing out here. So you get to make the decision about who you choose to deal with and who you choose not to deal with. And me personally, I choose, as I said before, I'm not going to deal with external crazy. If somebody can come take the crazy out of my immediate family, I'm all for the external crazy. I'll point to the direction. If you can't do that, then I can't do all the external crazy. I'm not going to talk about it to anybody. I never have either. About how black they are, about how white they are, about how Asian they are, about how Muslim they are. I'm just not going to do it. I know who I am. I know who created me. I know who loves me. I don't have to be bothered with you. You know, you are, when I turn off this, when my screen goes black, you do too. Absolutely. You don't. This period is it. And I'm hogging. Go ahead, Vone. I'm sorry.
No.
Go ahead,
this is why I want you to come.
Girl, don't get me on a tangent. My gosh. You're
just hitting it right there. It's just
Thank you, Micah.
I just, I think the thing that really, if I had one regret in life, see, we can't, like I said, we can't control the outside world. We can't. When the moment you think that the problem is out there, that thought alone is the problem. That thought alone. When you think the problem is out there, the second you think that the problem is out there, that thought immediately is the problem.
That's right.
We have no control of what's around us, right? So when I saw all this metastasizing, and then here I am a whole year later, and my diversity video has gone viral again because this issue is still an issue. You know what I mean? And then because of the blue mouse, and this is how far it's gone and everything, and now we've got them. Not only are they attacking knitters and crocheters and businesses, that not only are they attacking them to shut them down, but now they've got them so scared that they want to take a step back, period, because they don't even want to be a part of it, because they killed their joy. They killed their joy. And that's where I'm like, whoa, now we've gone too far. They've allowed them to take their joy away, and now we've gone too far. So the only thing I could think of was I'm like, for me, what I have control over, what I can regret is I wish that after I found out, after I filmed that video and I found out what the blog was about, what the whole thing was about, that I came back and I made a quick video and say, you guys, this is a non-issue. She was just making a comparison. It's like a story. She was telling her story. It was not, this is not the statement of why people can't apologize. That's a racist statement.
It is a racist. Absolutely.
That's a racist statement. You know what I mean? If you substitute that with any other color, it would be a racist statement. So white is still a racist. That color is still a racist statement.
Absolutely.
I wish I had jumped back and said that video, not for anybody else to not to think that would have changed the whole, you know what I mean, trajectory of what it would have felt good for me to, because then I would have known that I did what I could, you know what I mean? But because I didn't, I said my piece and I was like, oh, these guys will figure them out themselves. It turns out they didn't figure it out themselves. And now I feel responsible because I should have said something within my control. And that's why I won't stay silent anymore. Do you know what I mean? That's why I'm here. But that's why you're here. That's why you're doing this, because we're like, it's time to get this cancer out of our utopia. It's time to remove this. So now when I see a tumor, I'm going to yank it out. Like when I saw, I was like, okay. I saw another racist statement. Unfortunately, it was from an Asian. You know what I mean? It's a random Asian stranger. I'm like, what are you doing? You can't say this. When you say this and believe this, this is what makes that word that you so don't like. This is what is what it means for the word that you claim is so wrong. You know what I mean? It would be one thing. It would be one thing if you were proud of being a racist and then you say a racist statement.
That's
you know what I mean? Then have at it. Go for it. You know what I mean? But don't come on here and say and pretend that you're not, and then pretend that you hate it, but say the very thing of it and be that. That's when I'm like, wait a minute. No. That's wrong. It's not. Common sense would tell you absolutely when you make a judgment on a global scale, like a mass, you're wrong. We're all individuals. You know what I mean? We're all individuals. I'm not like every other Asian. I'm not like every other woman. I'm not like every other Christian. Put me in any group, and I'm not like every other one of them.
That's
very unique. And I'm very special, and I'm very my own. There's nobody else like me. So don't compare me to the masses of anything else. Just like because I voted for a president at the time, I had two choices. Don't come at me and tell me I am this because of that. You know what I mean? When you had no reason why I did it.
That's right. It's nobody's business. And Vone, Michael had a question I wanted to answer before we go.
Wait. This one?
Yeah, she asked it was longer than that, but I wanted to.
Let's go back. Let's go back then. Here, let's go back, ladies. Rejoin after years of thinking about it. Okay. If I strongly disagree with the opinions and actions of a person and they have a business that offers something unique, which I'd like to have, then what do I do? Do I buy because give me the yarn?
Or, and then she
Um,
said, okay.
or do I just go for someone else? Or do I go, or do I not go and I don't want to support something they stand for? What would you do?
Well, oh, okay. What would I do?
What would you do?
Okay. I would probably, if I felt so strongly, then I probably wouldn't buy it. And my rationalization is I already have enough crap. So if I can bypass something that I feel so strongly about based on my principles, then it's probably okay. There's a lot of stuff I've left in stores for all kinds of reasons, and I've not fallen off the face of the earth. So
Exactly.
I would probably be okay not buying it. I wouldn't look, I wouldn't judge anybody if you saw, because I love yarn. I love fabric. I love everything. I am not above buying yarn anywhere. This is one of the reasons why I would say that, politics and knitting and crocheting, I did not forget the crocheters out there.
We're both master crocheters, by the way. We're
Yeah,
both master crocheters, by the way.
yes. But that's what I said. Politics doesn't belong in any of this because nobody should feel guilty about buying yarn. It's yarn. It's fabric. It's needles. None of that has anything to do with anything that any of these folks are talking about. It doesn't have anything to do with being black or white or Chinese or Mexican or anything. It's just yarn. At the end of the day, if you get it or don't get it, you're not going to fall off the face of your earth. If you said I bought from so-and-so, but they voted for so-and-so, and I wouldn't judge you for that. You like the yarn, you bought it. I don't have time for that. I just don't. Do what you feel is best for you. If you buy it, I'm okay with that because you have your reasons for doing it. If you don't, I'm okay with that because I know for a fact that all the stuff I've left in the stores over the years, reluctantly thinking I'm going to hate that I left that in the store when I get home. I have not fallen off the face of the earth because I didn't have it anymore. So that's how I feel about it. Go ahead, Mom.
And my whole thing on that is I love shopping small business because I love supporting small humans. Like small, I love because I love not small humans, small businesses because I know like the humans behind them, right? As opposed to a mass corporation.
Yeah.
When you shop small business, you can see the face. You know what I mean? And you want to love on the humans. That's why especially in my entrepreneur world with the handmade world. You know what I mean? So there's a little personality behind it all. There's a beautiful, beautiful human being that we've just come across in our world within the past couple of weeks. Nancy from Round Rabbit.
Yeah. Oh, she's adorable.
Nancy from Round Rabbit and I are dead opposites on everything under the sun. Probably she is just like my sister. We agree. We disagree with everything under the sun, right? But I love hard on Nancy, just like she loves hard on me. And just like I love hard on my sister. We don't have to agree on everything. And if Nancy puts some beautiful stuff in her shop and that I have to have it, that I can afford it, you bet your bottom dollar I'm going to buy it.
That's right. Right.
It has nothing to do with what she believes and what now. That being said, if you guys follow me at all, I'm a big pro-lifer.
Yeah.
So my big enemy right now is Planned Parenthood.
Okay.
Because that is a mass corporation that is just in the business for killing human beings.
A whole show about that by itself.
Yeah, they are just a mass corporation set out to kill human beings. Mm-hmm. That's essentially what it is. And we could say who they're killing more of. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We could say who they're killing more of or why they create, but that is the company is there to kill human beings.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And as a human being, I feel very strongly against that.
Okay, that's right.
So I don't want to have anything to do with a company like that. I don't want to
Right.
give money to a company like that. So if I
That
know somebody that is, that might be now if I'm ignorant to it, I'm not going to punish myself for, what I mean, supporting such a thing. But if I'm not, then, but if I know something, it's going to leave a little pang in my heart. You know what I mean? It's going to be like, oh, wait, that company like donates how much to be
that's
responsible for killing another human being? I don't know if I want to contribute my hard-earned dollar for that cause.
it's your
So
choice. It's your choice.
exactly. So it's
Absolutely.
whatever your tolerance of what you can handle.
That's
That's
right.
that's my thing, But
Follow
it
your own.
doesn't mean,
That's right.
yeah.
Follow your own heart. Don't worry about what other people are talking and doing. If you feel so strongly that you can't, then don't. It's all right. You like I said, you won't fall off the face of the earth if you don't have that yarn, or you don't have that fabric, or you don't have those needles and stuff. It's okay. But you will feel better because you will have followed your principles as you saw fit. So that's what I would say too. And
You guys,
I just want real quick. I just want to say, I certainly do appreciate everybody. I've gotten so much love out here on Instagram. I'm not a social media person like I used to be, so I'm not out on Facebook or Instagram or even YouTube a lot. As far as interacting with folks, YouTube probably a little more, but Instagram and Facebook I don't do as much anymore. But I've gotten so much love, and I promise to goodness I will. I always try to answer people the best I can. So if you don't get an answer from me, don't feel slighted or anything. It's just that, husband, job, stuff, family. And when I get a free
life.
do it. But I love all of y'all. I certainly appreciate you. You've made my 2 weeks and have certainly made all the stuff that's been going on a lot more tolerable. And I certainly do appreciate you. That's what I wanted to say.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Do you
Oh, you're
guys
welcome.
have you guys ever? We hope that helps. Have you?
Yeah.
What do you guys think of? I'm so I if you follow me at all, I'm always about my entire YouTube channel is all about daring to be original, daring to be and trying to for us to be our best versions. How can we learn and grow and improve ourselves to be the best versions of ourselves? And so that I've dedicated this entire YouTube channel just because of to that cause. So what do y'all think of Sherry doing her own YouTube show? What do y'all
Well,
think of that? Like I want a survey. Well, let's take a survey because every good business, Sherry, needs needs uh needs a good test and
yeah.
and a good market thing. Would you guys be interested in Sherry doing her own show like this? Like I think your voice is so needed in the world right now. I think it is
As they
so
say,
needed.
it's killing me. So,
Look at look at just taking a survey. Just taking a survey here.
oh, thank you. Oh, y'all so sweet. Maybe
Look at
I'm really out. I'm really thinking about it. I really am thinking about it. I am. I'm gonna think about even more serious now that I've been here with you, Vone, and everything, and love every minute of it. This is so much fun.
it's that's the thing. That's the thing about connection with, that's why I'm like personal knit and crochet because we're crafters. It just not even just knit and crochet, just crafters. When we love hard on our art, it becomes like a personal thing. We're the majority of us are introverts because this is why we picked it. Otherwise, we would have been playing a sport.
Yeah,
We would
that's
have been
right.
playing a real sport. We wouldn't be
Right.
playing the knit and crochet sport. I always tell John, I'm always like, you know how many all-nighters I've done with knit and crochet? So I'm always like, honey, this is an intense sport, okay? I've injured myself. This is legit, right? Um, look at all this, the survey here.
Oh, y'all so sweet. My
Here's
goodness,
the surveys. So,
y'all.
but when we get together and we come on here and we engage with like-minded people, and I say like-minded, meaning that we love our crafts. That's
Sure.
that's the only like-minded that we have, is that we love our crafts. I I think it's always a great time because then we're reminded that there are others that love to do what we're doing, like that relate to what we're feeling. and I didn't realize how when we see something that doesn't like that jars us, you know what I mean? We have a tendency to withdraw, and even I do, because my big thing is protect my glass of water. You
I,
know, I don't want to get caught up in that nasty.
right.
And but at the same time, I'm like, I also want to keep my community like strong too. The only reason why I'm fighting so hard on this is now they've gotten so deep. The SJWs have gotten so deep that now they are succeeding in what they aim to do, and that is to stop people from creating.
Right.
And therein lies my
Right.
enemy.
That's
That
right.
therein lies my enemy.
That's
Because
right.
my enemy.
I hope folks remember that too. All this in Blue Mouse, if you're listening, they have, if you stop creating and stop being who you are, that's what they aim to do. You know, I hope that you come back. If you ever decide to come back, I hope you come back stronger and better than you ever were. Because it's a shame what they've done. That really broke my heart too. But it's a shame what they've done out here. That's why you have to, you can look, you can have a knitting community without these people. You can have people buy your yarn. SJWs are not the only people who buy yarn and knit and crochet. By a long shot, do you know they're only this many? Really, they seem like, because they're all out here saying all, you know, all the same things, and they look like a lot because they're on Twitter, but they really are a very small amount of the community. That's why I said, let these people go on about their business. You can sell to people and they have nothing to do with all that mess going on out here. You know, whatever you need to promote your business, go ahead and promote your business, but you don't need them in order to be successful. You really don't. You don't. And that's how they get in, because people have a lot of underlying motives, especially if they know that they can get to you. If they believe that you're weak-minded or something, then they will use everything in their power. And that's what a lot of this is. It's just simple jealousy and misguided competition. You know, if they can get you out of the loop, then they can sell their stuff. Talking a whole bunch of stuff most of them don't even believe, you know. So
Exactly.
I would say, you know, stay strong. If you have to be in the fray, get in and get out. But don't apologize, don't back down, you know. Keep the faith. You don't have to be bothered. You don't have to be bothered with these people. These people are not mandatory. You learn this in kindergarten. You are not.
Can we get a banner? These people are not mandatory.
These people are not mandatory. It's not mandatory that you be bothered with any of those people. I know you said they got real deep in the community, but it's not mandatory. Nobody in the knitting community has to be bothered with you. Don't. That girl who wrote that little silly article about the young lady was racist about the India stuff. No, she's not. She wasn't even in the community. I don't think she was she? I don't even think she was in the community at the time, was she? Did she even knit?
I do not know. I do not know.
I mean, she might have. I don't even believe she did. But that's what I said. You don't have to be bothered with these people. These people mean nothing. At the end of the day, they mean nothing in your immediate world, the immediate world that you have that's important to you. That's not, these people are a part of none of that. And you don't need them.
Maybe we can do a teaser, because I'm trying to get one of these lives. I'm trying to get the beautiful Nancy from Round Rabbit on here with the three of us. Can you imagine the explosion on that hour to get her? Because she knows she just revealed one of the big SJWs in one of the destructive leaders that were behind going after Sakamatician, Nathan.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about that. Was all when I read about
I think she just like announced that she went to, like, she was put in jail, one of the SJW, like one of the leaders that caused the rival. I'm like, and so for something other than what she went to jail for something other than destroying our knitting community. Or that's insane. But it was just like a blow, and I'm hoping that maybe that makes them pause a little bit. But I don't. SJWs are not mandatory. There we go. That's just. Yep. There's the line. You two and Nancy, awesome. I know. Go DM her. You guys blow up her message and say, we just watched Vone and Sherry live, and you need to get on here. Can you all do that? Can you all go to Round Rabbit on Instagram and DM her and say, you need to join the two of them and do a threesome here?
Yeah,
That would be a fantastic hour. Because she is, I think she's involved a lot more into this world than us.
Yeah, I would imagine she's certainly more than me, and I'm just, I'm in now as a just a knitter trying to, figure out how to do Fair Isle the correct way. So that's my.
Whoa, you're into Fair Isle?
I am right now. I'm doing a koi vu sweater. I'll post my progress on Instagram. I am doing that right now.
Dude, you're way ahead of me. I haven't even knitted a sweater yet. I've only done scarves and cables.
Yeah, I bought that. I just decided to do. Like I said, I have so much yarn; it's ridiculous. I bought that pattern, a year or two ago, sometime, way before. But I went back through my patterns, and it's one of the patterns I have. So I just started it this week. So y'all pray for me that I don't throw it across the room sometime.
You got a lot of new knitting friends. They can help you. I won't be one of them if you're doing Fair Isle.
Yeah, it's so far so good. I've got the neck. I'm looking at it now. I got the neck, and I'm getting down. I'm like on line 30 of the graph. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I was about to wrap and turn and stuff. That was, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a bunch. So y'all pray for me.
Thank you, Sherry. Thank you so much for doing this with me. You guys, thank you so much for watching.
The hour went fast. Hour and 15 minutes.
Went so fast, didn't it?
Everybody out there, y'all stay safe. Have a great weekend. Hopefully we can get through this and go back to normal very, very soon. Go outside at least once a day and stand in your yard and do nothing if you don't have to. But go outside. Go outside your house. Go stand in your yard for at least 15 minutes or something. Don't stay in the house.
No, we're probably going to take the dogs out for the park and walk around. Yeah, get some fresh air.
Yes, get some fresh air.
It's beautiful today. Yes. Thank you so much for joining. This has been awesome, you guys. I'm back next Saturday, Monday morning motivation, 6 a.m. with Sarah Price. 6 a.m. every Monday. Sherry, we're on live.
I'm gonna try my best to be there.
6 a.m. just to show.
All right. Thank you.
What it looks like for ordinary women trying to do extraordinary things looks like at 6 a.m. Monday mornings. We'll see how we do. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great week. God bless.
Everyone. I'll see you out online. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.